Welcome to Comic and Screen. I am Sam Motton, and with me is Jason Book. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Justice League issue 48, which is part 8 of the Darkseid War, which is the big event that's been happening with Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor. It's called Darkseid War, but actually Darkseid has been dead and absent for quite a few issues in this event. This is Chapter 2 of Act 3, written by Jeff Johns, of course. We've got art by the main artist, Jason Fabok, in this issue, colors by Brad Anderson. And what we have going down is Möbius, who became the Anti-Monitor. He returns onto the scene. He's bringing with him his shadow monsters, and we have kind of the White taking things over, just like back in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So nice callback there with the art. We've got Ultraman powering back up, getting some kryptonite from the Justice Leaguers. Nice negotiation scene there. We have Flash as the God of Death, predicting some death that does happen by the end of this issue, assuming that's the one he was talking about. Big splash page with the Green Lantern Corps coming in to join the fight, an Anti-Monitor throwing down with some people. So what'd you make of the issue overall, Jason, all this stuff going down?
Oh, pretty good quality as usual. The art was nice. The writing was good. It's kind of like we're getting to more stuff happening, but still seems like a lot of setup, especially with the way the issue ends. But I did enjoy it. Moments like with the Green Lantern Corps was pretty cool in there, and there were some nice action moments, and like you were saying, a couple paid death, but not really of a major character on the main DC Earth, anyways. So I'm looking forward to see where it's going, but kind of feel like I wish they would get there a little faster.
Yeah, I felt like, it was somewhat of a setup issue, but we had a little bit of an action for its own sake here.
Yeah.
I felt like it got back a little bit of the momentum. We talked about when all the one-shots were happening, which were pretty good one-shots, but it definitely slowed down in terms of the pace of, all of the excitement and everything.
Yeah.
So this one, I still wished that, like, the Grail thing had been pushed a little bit more forward, or Mr. Miracle. I still feel like that's kind of waiting in the wings, which is maybe why, like you're saying, it felt like it all isn't really happening yet, and maybe it's because of those characters. But I felt like this one was getting things back on track, moving things forward, where 49 and 50, I think, are going to bring some really good stuff to the Darkseid War arc overall.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens next, too.
Yeah, at the beginning they had the nice tease where Flash, who's the God of Death now, he just is sitting there and he kind of nonchalantly says, somebody's going to die. And they're like, whoa, why would you say that? And, he has death merged with him. So this kind of knowledge of death just comes out. So I kind of liked that as a sort of a clever way of foreshadowing somebody's demise. But then at the end of the issue, when Ultraman is killed by Anti-Monitor, or what looks like he's killed, I was confused, like, is that the death that Flash was predicting, or is Flash predicting another death, and so that they're kind of throwing us a curveball?
Yeah, well, to me, I think it's the Ultraman thing, right?
Yeah, that's the most obvious thing, but then it seems like a little bit of a wasted foreshadowing to have it happen just a few pages later in the same issue, rather than, like, in issue 50, have somebody die.
True, yeah, and especially with this DC Rebirth thing happening, I mean, maybe they would be free to kill somebody off if it's not really going to matter continuity wise. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things with characters becoming different versions of who they are that you don't really know what's going to happen next in a way. But I definitely got Darkseid vibes of Lex Luthor coming back at the end.
It was very cool to see Jason Fabok's take on some of the classic stuff from, like, Crisis.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed Jason Fabok's art through this whole thing.
Yeah.
So really just stopping on some of the pages and just taking them all in was something I enjoyed in this issue too.
Yeah, I mean, he's got great line work. It reminds me of Jim Lee a lot. You can tell he probably was a fan of his work, and good work takes time. So, as we said before, when it's all collected, I think, they might have been better off skipping some of those one-shots, but I think they did it for a timing reason.
And the first collected edition is out now. It's available, Darkseid War Part 1, which got off to a really good start. I mean, I remember those first few issues were really high quality. So people can grab those if they've been waiting for the trades to catch up that way. It was cool here to see with Superwoman, so from Earth 3, she has Ultraman's baby, and she's been pregnant since, like, this is going back to, like, Forever Evil stuff right before Darkseid War.
Right.
But she now goes into labor right at the end of this issue, so that's going to be, I think, interesting to see in 49 how this baby's going to play into it and what is Grail's overall plan, because Grail still seems like she's putting things into place for her master plan.
Yeah, for sure. The baby, I mean, hopefully they don't do something stupid like it pops out and starts having superpowers right away and gets in on the action, you know.
Yeah,
I don't need to see that.
right. I think it is good. I mean, I think it's part of Jeff Johns' master plan because if you remember way back to the sneak peek for this, it all started with birth. We had the birth of Wonder
Yeah,
Woman happening at the same time as the birth of Grail.
that's
So I
true.
think it makes sense now that we're here in Act 3 to have another birth as an echo of those.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, so kudos to Jeff Johns for kind of doing some of that parallelism in terms of the storytelling overall.
Mhm.
But all right, so we've got that to look forward to, and what's Lex Luthor going to do now that he's the god of apocalypse and has the Omega effect? So he's going to throw some sort of wrench into things. I'm still waiting for the big payoff of Mister Miracle. So
Yeah, he hasn't really
hopefully,
been in it too much the last couple. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he started off strong, like they were
Yeah.
setting him up, but now I feel like they've set him up and haven't actually had it pay off yet. But maybe 49 or 50. They've probably got something planned for 50, but they need to catch up a little bit because the other DC books are hidden into 50 next month.
That's
So
right, yeah. Well, hopefully
or
they
this
don't just
month,
kill
yeah.
him off or something. Not that it's going to really matter in a few months anyways, but yeah, he had a really good start there and I was a big fan of the character, so it was cool to see him back, you know.
For Mister Miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they do have something planned. He and Big Bart are there, ready to go. So I
Hmm.
think their moment is still coming.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so 49 must be coming up pretty soon because, like I said, they're trying to catch up to 50. So I'll be looking forward to that one.
Yeah, me too.